It's the height of the Roaring 20s, so everything seems fine except in the town of Arkham. Unfortunately, it has a notoriety for being a terrible, scary place where bad things happen and no one knows why. So you are normal people. You don't have any magical abilities. There's no, like, you know, bit by a radioactive street rat and now you're Ratman. That's not a thing. So yeah, you're just going to be normal guys kind of going up against presumably an ancient evil, because that's how Arkham works. So we are playing this based on this book right here, which is F.A. Sidor's The Last Ritual. I've basically taken the story and developed it into an RPG here for our sake. For the fun of it, we're going to have some fun. So this has 24 total scenes. I'd like to get through the first 6 today if we're able to. A scene can last anywhere between 15 minutes to an hour. So hopefully within the next 3 hours we'll be good to get through all that stuff. So here are the characters, and I'll give the background, but why don't you guys say your name and then your character's name, and then I'll give the background, if that makes sense. And we'll start to my right here.
I'm Isabelle Laroque, and my character is Nina Tarrington.
So Nina is the ex-fiance of Preston Fairmont, who is another one of the characters. She is friends with a gentleman by the name of Cortland Duffy, and they both live at the Artist Colony. So this building right here is going to represent the Artist Colony. It's an old fire station that has been turned into basically a habitat for artists. They kind of all live in like loft spaces doing art things. Because the town of Arkham no longer has a fire department, they all quit because it was too crazy. So there's that. Nina is also a writer, an aspiring author, and a poet. She has some forensics knowledge because her father was a police detective. She's been in trouble with the law for intruding on crime scenes. She's the kind of person that's kind of nosy and wants to get involved with that stuff. And she works as a research assistant at a law firm. So there is that. Now, we didn't really discuss, did we discuss your salary?
Not at all.
And things? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I got this wonderful prop money that looks like it's from the 1920s. So we're going to use this as in-game currency. Some of you are rich and don't have to worry too much about these, but that's all right. I'm poor,
Please,
sir.
may I have some more?
Please, sir. So for right now, we're going to say that you have $5 to your name. Now, that's not a ton, seemingly, but this is the 1920s, and a lot of stuff is pretty inexpensive. Feel free to Google it if you're trying to figure that out. There's a lot of resources online for that. Next.
I'm Liz, and I'm playing Minnie Devane.
So Minnie Devane is Alden's ex-girlfriend. Alden is another character. And she is Preston's current fiance. She is a dilettante, she is cultural and outgoing, she loves to engage in charity work and believes there is more out there than people see. She has a very positive outlook on life and looks to make sure everyone is included. All right, so for those of you who are rich, I'm gonna start you off with $20.
Yay!
That's
I like
a lot.
money.
I'll count these out, let's go to the next one.
My name is Nathan, and I am the infamous Preston Fairmont.
So Preston Fairmont, he has a little bit of mythos experience because his father is a member, he and his father both are members of the Silver Twilight Lodge, and they are known to kind of dabble in mysterious stuff. He is an alumni from Miskatonic University. He roomed with Alden at Miskatonic University. He's very wealthy. He lives in French Hill. His nickname for Alden is Oaksy, so try and throw that in there. It's used in the book a lot. His father, like I said, is affiliated with the Silver Twilight Lodge. Preston, though he is affiliated because of the family, he doesn't trust Carl Sanford. Carl Sanford is the leader of the Silver Twilight Lodge. He is engaged to Minnie, and he is impatient to a fault. He's used to getting things when he wants them, how he wants them, all of that stuff. So think kind of in a weird way like Tony Stark kind of deal there. All right, next.
My name is Travis, and I'm playing Alden Oaks.
All right, Alden Oaks. He is a painter who was born in Arkham. He's a world traveler. He's very wealthy. He's 29 years old. He likes to smoke. He likes to drink. He likes to party as they do in the 1920s. So something to keep in mind in the 1920s is that Prohibition is very much active. So if you want to drink, you have to do it in a not so legal manner. He roomed with Preston at Miskatonic University. He owns a dog named Thorn, who is a blue greyhound. He has an old butler named Roland, and he's at a crossroads because he's not sure what to do with his life at this point. He still lives at Oaks Manor and is living off of his trust fund. Okay, last but not least.
My name is Jesse, and I am playing Andy Van Nortwick.
So Andy Van Nortwick is a fledgling reporter for the Arkham Advertiser. He was delivering papers by bike less than a year ago. He's very green. He wants to make a name for himself, but he's very shy. He wants to find the courage to do these things. He's constantly teased by the veteran reporters at the Arkham Advertiser. Poor Andy Van Nortwick.
Such a life.
Such a life. All right, so there are a lot of NPC characters, and I will kind of give you some background when you meet them. I've been slowly parceling this money out because I can't do two things at once sometimes. So that's why this is taking a little while. So let me finish doing this real quick.
You can just go ahead and hand me my $1.
8, 9.
You don't even get $1.
Rip one of them in half.
That's cute. There you go. Don't spend it all in one place.
Hey, you got more than one.
You got $2.
You got double the amount you
He's got $2.
So, I'd like to think that this isn't my salary. I just found this on the street.
You don't want to know what he had to do for that $2.
$2.
I want my $2. Okay, so everyone has their money. Great, fantastic. We are going to start the campaign. Again, this is the last ritual. I've given you some feedback on what your characters do, but for the most part, I'm going to let you guys run your character as they are. A little of this will be on rails, just like in a lot of different RPGs. So I'm going to make sure that you're going the way that you should. The good thing about the way the system works is that during narrative scenes, it's really just you're talking to each other and figuring things out. So it's not very rules heavy, it's more story heavy, which is what I like. My name is Joe, and I will be your DM. Welcome to Arkham Horror role-playing game, The Last Ritual. All right, so you're gonna start off in different places here, but we're gonna go with Andy first. So Andy, this is your setting here. You're actually going to be at the Arkham Advertisers, and you are arriving for work. So you will come into the building. There's the front there. So you arrive to work at the Arkham Advertiser. It's been a particularly crummy week for you, as per usual. You've been given all kinds of fun assignments, such as a dog show and why are flowers getting more expensive. So you come into work and you are approached by Doyle Jeffries. Now Doyle is an older man. He is the current editor at Arkham Advertiser. He's really big into conspiracy theories. Now he wants information on the Silver Twilight Lodge. He's always talking bad about them. He thinks that there's some kind of crazy nonsense happening with them. But he's going to approach, and I will just I'll use him. So he comes out, steps out of his office, and he's like, Andy, get in here. He comes back over.
I sheepishly walk in.
Close the door. This is private.
I close the door.
All right, Andy. See, I have a hot scoop that Alden Oaks, our very own, is coming back here, and he is a well-known painter, and we are very excited to have him, what with the artist community taking up residence in the old firehouse. So what I'd like you to do is try to get an interview. Now this is your shot here. This is your big chance. I know that we've been putting you through the ringer here, giving you a lot of terrible assignments, but you have to understand a lot of the reporters here have to go through that. You have to pay your dues. So, one good thing about Alden Oaks returning is that his friend Preston Fairmont has ties to the Silver Twilight Lodge. You know how I feel about the Silver Twilight Lodge. If you're able to get any information regarding them or Carl Sanford, their notorious leader, then let's just say you have written your last story about dog shows. I will give you the best stories, the best scoops, and we will go from there. But this is your one shot. If you fail in this, do not think that you will have a job afterwards.
Okay. All right. I appreciate the offer. Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Very good. All right, so he shoos you out of the office. He's done with you. But you have your marching orders at this point. As you are stepping out of the office, Minnie shows up.
Yay.
Okay. You are coming in to report your engagement to Preston. You want to get that paid into the paper. So basically, you're just coming in there to see that. So as you're walking in, unfortunately, Andy is not paying attention. He's excited. He's writing in his notebook, and he collides with you in the doorway, and you both kind of collapse. You are now dead. Your characters are gone.
Well, see you guys.
Well, that's good.
Okay. But
Jeez, must have been
you
walking
take it from
fast.
there as you are both kind of getting up.
Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
I'm sorry. I just wasn't paying attention. I got a really important job to do.
Oh, do you have time for an extra one? It's something small. It's not.
Okay. Okay. Sure. What you got?
I wanted to get my engagement to Preston put into the paper.
You said Preston, right?
Yeah, Preston Fairmont.
Fairmont? Oh, this is great.
And I'm Minnie Devane, by the way.
Minnie Devane. Okay. Yeah. I can definitely see about getting that in there. To talk to our editor and. How long have you known Mr. Fairmont?
Quite a while. I mean, we are engaged, so
One would think.
one would think we've known each other for a while.
3 days.
Overnight.
My 90-day fiance, Arkham edition.
We're actually just playing a Hallmark movie.
Do you think that you could potentially get me an audience with him?
I mean, I could try. He is a busy man, but I can definitely try. Is it for the something for the paper?
Yes. It's actually so I can get more get more information on this engagement.
Oh yes, I can definitely talk to him.
I was so hoping that I could talk to him too.
Well, yes, I was going to talk to him about talking to you.
Okay. Perfect. When can I see him?
That's a good question. I'd have to ask him first.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Here,
Thank you.
Handwritten
take my
and
card.
hand cut.
With the squiggly scissors.
I'd say call me, but I don't have a phone.
She can call up here to the Arkham Advertiser.
Okay. Yeah, just call the number on there and ask for me, and we'll get
Oh yes,
everything sorted out.
definitely. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry again for running into you.
No, it's quite fine. How much does an ad cost? I have some money.
She just whips it out and is like,
I got quick run into her.
I have lots on my list, but
this whole time.
I know you're
No,
looking at
I'm just feigning reporter. I'm really just a homeless guy sitting there.
Well, I'll just have my fiance take care of it. It's fine.
So you know typically that it costs somewhere around $3.
I could almost afford that.
You don't have to pay it. Why are you paying for it?
I could put my own ad.
Please hire me.
Please hire me. I need money.
Something other than that. But you can relay that information to her however you'd like.
So to get an advertisement in the paper, it's going to be about $3.
Okay, I'll let him know that too.
All right, sounds good. I will write that down and talk with my boss.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Have a good day.
Okay, good enough. There's scene. Okay, so now we move to Theater of the Mind, and we are going to the beach. You are, let's do Alden. Let's just set you here in the black area. It's a very dark beach.
I belong in
The Black Sand Beach.
Yeah, it's the famous black sand beach of Cannes, France. All right, so Alden, you have been running around trying to discover yourself all over Europe. You have found yourself to a beach in Cannes. For whatever reason, you're wearing a trench coat and a large scarf. It's a cold beach, apparently. So you are at the beach, and up walks crazily your old college roommate,
Preston Fairmont.
so he'll come up. So Preston, on your mind is the fact that you are now engaged to Alden's ex-girlfriend, and this might be a little weird. So you are going to try to broach that subject with him. Meanwhile, Alden, heavily on your mind is the fact that you're 29, you kind of been in a little bit of a rut artistically, but you've made an agreement to come home to work on some more art. You've contacted your butler, Roland, and he called the papers. They're excited. You're going to start working on some stuff there. I think that's it. So, Preston, you come walking up.
Oaksy, good friend, and what a surprise to see you here.
Hello, Preston.
How you been?
Standing on a beach in a trench coat and a large scarf.
Must be very warm.
I've been in a little bit of a rut.
I got something to tell you.
Well, I have some very interesting news to bring to you, good friend. Me and Minnie just got engaged.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That'll be $10.
I have 20.
All right, so maybe you have some questions about this, perhaps.
When did this happen? Why did this start happen?
Oh, well, we met a while ago, obviously after the two of you broke up. And I don't know, we just get along really well, and we got engaged 2 weeks ago.
Moving a little fast.
Well, I mean, we've been dating for a while.
And I'm just hearing of this now. I thought we were friends, Preston.
Well, you've been off gallivanting around Europe.
And yet here you are as well.
That is true.
Why are you here, Preston?
Why am I here? I called your butler, and he told me that you were here in France. I just happened to randomly stumble upon you on this black beach.
Wearing a tux.
And so I blend in. It's
Right.
camouflage.
The Black Beach of Cannes.
Well, you could have waited till I got back home to give me this news. You didn't have to come all the way out here.
Oh, you didn't tell me you were coming home.
Well, I just told him, so.
Ah,
So the wrinkle is this. It is September 13th, and your engagement party is on Halloween. So you want to make sure that Alden is going to be able to attend said engagement party, because you apparently have no shame. So you mentioned this to him, and you're wanting Alden to kind of change his plans to fly back a little earlier, because he wasn't planning on coming back until November.
Well, how could I miss my friend's engagement party.
Glad to hear it.
I'll change the flight ride.
I really appreciate it.
Okay. Anything else either of you would like to talk about?
Absolutely not.
I'm good. All right, so Preston, with that, you consider it a success, and you're kind of aloof, and you don't really realize that was kind of a dick move, but you did it anyway. So Alden, before you leave, you notice that after Preston gets up, he was using his cane to draw something in the sand, and it didn't even seem like he was doing it like intentionally. It's like he was talking and his hand was kind of
Subconscious?
Yeah, he was moving subconsciously. And in there, in the sand, is a cup balanced on a triangle with 2 ovals inside and a 3-pronged fork ahead of it. So I will draw that out for you.
What a strange thing.
Something along the lines of this.
That's not cryptic at all.
And I thought I was an artist.
Wait, I've got an idea. Maybe it'll be your new painting. All right, so you're good. You are now planning on heading to Spain and then flying back to Arkham from Spain. So you'll pick back up your story here in a moment.
Olay.
Let's bring the building back over here. Okay. All right.
There's a mailbox on the roof.
So, yes, that's not where the mail gets delivered.
That's why the firemen left.
Right? We're never getting our mail. All right, so Nina is just leaving the colony when she is approached by her friends, Portia and Delilah. We'll pretend these are Portia and Delilah. So you head out of the building. All right, so they come up to you very frantically, and they're like, "Did you hear the news? It's crazy. I can't even believe it."
Okay, breathe for a second. I've been writing all day. I have no idea what you mean.
It's Cortland. He's dead.
What?
He was at the church looking at the gargoyles. He was commissioned to sculpt the new gargoyles for the church, and they don't know, they're saying it's an accident, but he fell off the roof and
He fell?
he's dead.
Oh, that's just terrible. I mean, has his family been notified? Has someone done something? I don't.
The police are investigating him, but you know how Arkham PD is.
So,
We don't know any of his family. We thought maybe you would know.
as far as I know, we didn't talk about family much. Mine's back in Boston. I'm honestly not too sure what to do next.
It's terrible. I can't help shaking that there's foul play here.
I mean, with it being Arkham, I don't think anything would get done to determine that or not. Like, I know that if it wasn't an accident, if something is going on, that it's just going to be another unsolved case.
Maybe you could look into it. I know your dad was a detective.
I do have some of his old kits. Maybe I might go over there just to check things out and pay respects.
They haven't even cleaned up much of the crime scene. The gargoyle is smashed into pieces all across the sidewalk, and some of his blood is still there. It's really rather terrifying.
Well, if it must be done, he was one of my closest friends.
Ours too. We're gonna miss him very dearly.
So you said that the police still haven't cleaned up the scene. Do you know if they're keeping an eye on it?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I might run back upstairs and get my science kit.
We're gonna tell the rest of the community. We'll probably hold some kind of vigil for him tonight.
That sounds like a good plan. I'll make sure to bring some flowers.
All right, so they run off. They run back inside to go gossip about Cortland's death. All right, so you are good there. So the next day, This is September the 14th. Alden is in Spain.
Olay.
All right, so go ahead and put yourself out here for just a moment. All right, so you head to Spain to fly back, and you stumble upon a weird local festival. So the deeper into the neighborhood you explore, you notice that the buildings around are falling into obvious stages of disrepair. Their architecture looks less structurally sound, fissures creeping along the building's foundations, and cracks in the facade had you speculating that the city had experienced a recent earthquake. The entire scene spoke of disintegration. This could not be Barcelona. You're entirely not sure as you stumble deeper and deeper into the city. You'd arrived earlier the evening, and now, a couple of hours later, the sun has plunged into the west. Light cut through the alleyways like gold bayonets. You turn at an intersection, always checking behind you to remember a key detail or two so that you can make your way out in case you get lost. And there is a headless mannequin dressed in a red cardigan leaning forward against a dusty second-floor window. That seems like a good thing as any to keep track of where you're at. Here, glass blocks frame the etched word Pharmacia over a doorway. Further on, rows of brown boots are standing to attention on a rack outside of a cobbler's dimly humble shop. You plan to follow the trail of breadcrumbs back through the urban forest. Crimson streak the bruised sky where unraveling bandages were merely clouds. You hear voices, many voices. You start noticing that there is more and more people gathering. You follow the sound. Crack! Was that a gunshot? You freeze, and then a volley of loud explosions, a scream, people laughing. A woman in black and white ruffled dress runs diagonally across the street ahead of you. She glances over her shoulder, smiling. You think maybe it's at you, but then a young man with curly black hair and a guitar on his back emerge, chasing after her. You trail them to the plaza. Here were the dwellers of the neighborhood. Long tables and kitchen chairs ring the plaza and branch down the intersecting streets. In the center of the plaza towered a pyramid of old furniture, wood scraps, and even an old peeling door. Families sat around the tables drinking wine and eating. Children ran everywhere. A man touched a fat cigar to a fuse in his fist and tossed the firework high in the air near the pyramid. Crack! The children scream, laugh, and run away. It was a summer festival. I had heard about them from your associates in France, or you had heard about them. It was common to see midsummer bonfires around the solstice throughout Europe, dating back to medieval times, or perhaps earlier. Many had their roots in ancient pagan rituals. Harmless, good-natured fun said to be effective in repelling evil spirits. Who but the bitterest killjoy could argue against burning pyres and drinking through the night with friends until dawn? You must have stumbled upon a local custom. Before you could question it any further, a young woman in the black and white ruffled dress offers you a glass of sangria, which you accept. As her beau whisks her away to listen to him play his guitar in the shadow of the pyramid, you notice the soldiers mingling with the civilians. It seemed they came from these families. The resemblances between them were undeniable. So any worries you had about civil unrest here died. As you sip your sangria and smoke, wishing you'd brought a sketch pad and some pencils, someone offers you a chair, so you sit down. You discover that your glass is being refilled without even knowing. Such hospitality, waiting for night to fall and the festivities to begin. That is when you first hear mention of the name Juan Hugo Balthazar. Oh, you hadn't heard it strung together like that, but in whispers. An insectile buzz that infected the crowd. Balthazar, Balthazar. Could they be speaking of the most shocking living painter in the world? No, there's no way. It must be a common name in these parts, yet you wonder. Juan Hugo Balthazar was a Spaniard born in Barcelona. He was rumored to live there still inside the walled, crumbling ruins of a Gothic monastery. As you look around, you convince yourself some of these people and the tables might be his relatives. But no, it couldn't be. Could it? Balthazar was acknowledged most notably and boisterously by himself as a genius, destined to save the 20th century from an irrelevant art. Renowned as a relentless experimenter, he drew, painted, and sculpted with incredible energy and stamina, often said to spend days or even weeks without sleep, in order to complete one of his outrageously fantastical visions. Critics either hailed his work as revolutionary or vehemently despised them. but all agreed his creations were as breathtaking as they were indescribable. Yes, there was something of Goya in them, and those medieval painters who conjured torturous scenes of hell, but Balthazar's influence remained hard to pin down. Gustave Doré's woodcuts and engravings, the Dadaists and Cubism, of course. Currently, he was a major force in the Surrealist movement, but he was also always his own artist. Incomparable, prolific, and a young man, barely older than you were, sorry. Obviously, I'm reading in first person. You envied him very much. If only you could harness the talent you felt within, you might be able to push to the world with such confidence, style, and gusto. So you see the party is kind of getting crazier and crazier. When all of a sudden the sound of drums echo from one of the narrower streets growing louder. People rose from their chairs and formed a circle in the plaza around the pyramid of items to be burned in the bonfire. You go with them, and the noise is deafening as the drummers enter the plaza. They wear rustic costumes. Though simple, they were effectively frightening. A combination of hooded robes and masks made from human hair, dyed red yarn, and grotesquely painted smears of silver, copper, and gold on rough blackened wood. It was surprisingly easy to believe that instead of people, the drummers were subterranean goblins, the sort of creatures that might have lived down wherever those iron-gated stairways led. They must have worn stuffed gloves to make their fingers appear so crookedly misshapen. The crowd cheers and claps, and all of a sudden they start chanting Balthazar. Caught up in the spirit of things, you join them, and you find yourself chanting Balthazar too. Let's see. A tall figure suddenly arrives in the midst of the crowd, and his head is far above others. This is Juan Hugo Balthazar. There was no way of telling who he might have been. He was wearing some kind of mask, but you just knew for some reason that was him. You feel your skin tighten as it does after a bad sunburn. The drummers marched and banged their instruments louder than before. The crowd swayed and began a chant in tongue you did not recognize, but it certainly wasn't Spanish. This is what you hear, and they chant it over and over again. One man breaks away from the crowd heading towards Balthazar, and he says, "Balthazar, Hoffendron!" He cries out. You don't know what it means, or the particularly sensitivity to the heat that seems to be affecting you, but you never noticed or had any any issues with your skin or nerves, but you're starting to feel this tightness kind of come over you, and you start to panic like a lobster boiling in a pot of water. As you see this happening, you keep hearing the loud cracks, and you think maybe it's firecrackers, but it almost sounds like bones snapping as the crowd starts getting more frantic and some crazy stuff starts happening there. The second team of performers enters around the circle, around the flaming pyramid as they're burning all of these things. The group was nimbler than the drummers, and they frolicked and skipped, running up to the crowd and touching them. Why did it make your stomach lurch to see this? The nimble goblins brandished spinning sparklers held aloft on long pikes. As they approach you, you see the ends of the pikes were three-pronged forks, like the one that Preston scratched with his cane in the sand at the beach. White sparkling wheels spin on the tops of prongs. You could not move or look away. A goblin pushed a wheel cart to the tall figure who stooped, picking up something. Two puppets? They had to be puppets, or large floppy dolls. The first was dressed as an adult man and the other as a woman. What unwholesome effigies. The curly-haired guitar player strummed his guitar. The young woman with the ruffled black and white dress danced, not in any traditional way, but as if they were possessed. The tall figure raised the puppets. A man's deep voice spoke through the mask. Ibuma Chitef, Gana Goka Gotha Gafan, Hamaloth Grahan Fataga Grahan. The crowd squeezed closer to the flames. Someone shoved you ahead as you try to protest, but you're getting carried to the front where Balthazar is. You feel your throat being paralyzed and constricted. The guitar player thrashed the strings. The dancer flung herself to the ground, and then it was like an invisible hand raised her body up again. On the edge of the flaming pyre, you saw a painting propped in the flames. The crowd pushes you further towards it, and the temperature becomes very unbearable, super hot. It was a painting of a city. You strain to see the painting better, but flames lick over it. The canvas burns. The tall figure, whose mirrors repeatedly images of the inferno, lifted the man puppet and the woman puppet. Was one of them crying? He mutters in that awful tongue-defying language. The intense heat must have made those puppets wiggle and worm. He spits the final words from his mouth and casts the puppets into the pyre. His heavy mask slipped. Under it, you thought you saw the end of a long, forked beard. He put the mask back in place. The crowd keeps chanting. Facing him now, his resonant voice boomed out like an almighty drum. They push you closer, you breathe in the harsh smoke from the pyre, and then you pass out. The end of the whole campaign. That's all that happens. Okay, so this is Juan Hugo Balthazar. From what you remember, just in the art circles, he's kind of this crazy surrealist painting that paints like a lot of really terrible nightmare stuff. And as you're seeing from this festival, there's people whose like bodies are contorting and they're snapping, and it sounds like firecrackers, but it could be like bones crunching. So it's a pretty gruesome scene.